The Senate will now be called to order. Just a reminder to senators, can you please put senator in front of your name and your pronouns? Thank you. It just makes looking for votes a lot easier. And before we begin today's business, I want to do a land acknowledgement. So since this meeting is being held online, a singular land acknowledgement doesn't capture the richness of our distribution across the United States and outside of the US. And since ASG is a body under the University of San Diego, I would like to do a land acknowledgement that is used at USD. And I also invite today's participants to consider their own position with regard to the land where they find themselves. I want to acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the traditional and unceded territory of the Kumeyaw Nation. I want to pay respect to the citizens of the Kumeyaw Nation, both past and present, and their continuing relationship to their ancestral lands. Thank you. The Clerk of Senate will now take roll.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Oh no, my computer's doing it again. 1 minute. Okay. Sorry, my internet is super slow. Thank you. I could just see it. Okay, there we go. Okay. Is it working? It's not working. Amanda, is it possible that you could enter it for me and I call everyone's names? It's not showing up on my screen.
Yeah, no problem at all. Go for it.
Okay, great. Oh boy. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, AJ, and I apologize ahead of time. I'm still practicing everyone's names.
You're good. Everyone.
Thanks. Okay, AJ Armenta.
Here.
Thank you. Alana Del Torre.
Here.
Thank you. Alana Bledman.
Here.
Thank you. Angela Tharp.
Here.
Okay, Alexa Andrade.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, I'm here. Benjamin Tebow.
Here.
Okay, Catalina Carvajal.
Here.
Cecilia Barron.
Here.
Thank you. Chidi Akaru. Okay.
Okaru in here.
Thank you. Daniela Pena.
Here.
Thank you. Elena Cruz.
Here.
Thank you. Ezra Wheeler.
Here.
Thank you. Fantasy Bias.
Here.
Thank you. Harrison Tarbox. Harrison Tarbox. Okay. I'll make a note of that right now.
I think you just entered the, I think you got in.
So Harrison is here. Thank you. Jay Johnson.
Here.
Thank you. Lauren Fetis. Fetis.
That is here.
Sorry, Lauren.
Fine.
Mackenzie Sherrard. Mackenzie. Okay. Mackenzie maybe is running late. I'll check on that. Madeline Wu.
Here.
Thank you. Max Donahoe.
Here.
Thank you. Meg McWilliams.
Here.
Thank you. Mia Soto.
Here.
Yeah. Sabrina Mendoza.
Here.
Thank you. Sean Kenny.
Here.
And then Tina Fee.
Tiana in here.
Oh, Tiana. Thank you. I will write that. Okay, awesome. Alrighty. All good. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't know if I missed it, but I don't think you called my name, but I'm here.
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. Brooke Powell.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next item on the agenda is approval of today's agenda. Are there any motions? Lauren?
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
There is a motion on the floor having been seconded to approve today's agenda. Is there any further discussion? If not, please cast your votes. Angelo, could you please cast your vote? Thank you. Motion passes. The agenda is approved. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from October 8th. Are there any motions? Ben?
I move to approve the minutes from October 8th.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor having been seconded to approve the minutes from October 8th. Is there any further discussion? If not, please cast your votes. Motion passes. Minutes have been approved. Next item on the agenda is a report from me. Not a lot to report on. I just wanted to make a note on office hours. So I've decided that advisor meetings and committee meetings will count towards your office hours. And if you have any more questions about office hours, you can direct them to my email. And Ari is going to be the one keeping track of the office hours. So like as you add them in, if for some reason you don't add them in, Ari will be reaching out to you, just checking in. So that's just something to keep note of. And that's all from me today. So we can move on to reports from committee chairs. Academics chair.
Thank you. So the Academics Committee has met in conjunction with the Vice President, Justin Dowse, in order to finalize all tasks necessary for the ASG academic grants. The Academic Committee has finalized the due date on October 26th to submit your application. And for everybody, I put the application link in the chat box to send to your constituents. We have finalized the academic group that is going to be reviewing all grants with 3 faculty advisors. And we also have another initiative that we are tackling on at the moment, specifically transfer student registration. If anybody has any information that they want to submit or just help us out with, if you have anything you want to add, we'd love to hear your thoughts. But aside from that, we are all set.
Thank you, AJ. Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Committee Chair.
Yeah, so tonight there is a meeting with ASG and the Vista, which I and a few other ASG members are attending. Next week, I am meeting individually with a couple different BSU and BSRC students just to open up that dialogue and create those relationships and elaborate on some things that have been brought up in group meetings. And then also working to set a meeting with DPS to open a discussion about the P-Safe Advisory Board that was mentioned at previous Senate. And that's it for this week.
Thank you, Ezra. Student Orgs Chair?
So the committee is going to start working on developing a mandatory anti-racism training for student orgs and their leaders for next semester. And we also have 2 new and 1 re-registering org that Jay will be presenting today to y'all.
Thank you, Alana. Student Life Chair?
Thank you. I have reached out to public safety to start a conversation with the tram services and figure out who to talk to answer any questions that we might have regarding really anything. I was thinking about how we could include these with any initiatives that senators might want to start. So if anyone has any specific questions, if they could reach out, that would be great. I've also reached out to the vice chair of the Graduate Student Council to set up a meeting and sort of get some ideas rolling on how to best support Veterans Day, which is next month. So if anyone is interested in joining that meeting, please send me a message and we can get you in on that.
Thank you, Ben. Are there any updates from the athletics coordinator?
Yes, I have 2 updates. I am currently working to put on a moderated political discussion next Wednesday with the help of USD Votes and some other orgs that I'm currently reaching out to. If anybody is a part of another org that might be interested in coordinating on this, please let me know. And also, once I get the time determined, which we're still working out, I will find a way to get that out to everyone. I love anyone who wants to come to join. It should be a really great conversation. And then second, if anybody knows any BIPOC student athletes that might be interested in a BIPOC student athlete My Story Night, please let me know. That is something that I'm in the process of putting together. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Lauren. Are there any updates from the health and wellness coordinator?
Yes, there are. I have some updates from the Center for Health and Wellness Promotion. The flu vaccine campaign, which is supported by ASG funding, is available. You can go to my San Diego portal, the wellness section, to schedule appointments. There are no walk-ins, and I can share that link that takes you to the wellness portal so that you can register or to share with your constituency. And that link also has like the registration for the October 20th QPR suicide prevention training, as well as resources for anonymous mental health screening and a lot of other helpful things in that one link. And then some other upcoming programming is like the Domestic Violence Awareness Month, the National Collegiate Alcohol Awareness Week, which is at the end of this month. And that's basically going to be promoting protective measures for those who choose to drink. That'll be like the last week of October, but that's all I have.
Thank you. Are there any updates from the sustainability coordinator?
Yeah, so I reached out to the director of dining and the director of marketing about Aussie boxes and how we can better market them to the students. So the director of marketing shared some promotional material with me, and she's asking ASG to help, spread that around. So I'll be in connections with some other ASG members about how to best to go about that. And then I'm also looking to connect with the Waste Task Force and the Sustainability Club on their initiatives that they would like to receive help on from ASG. Thank you.
Thank you to the committee chairs and coordinators. I'm really excited. It sounds like there's some really great work being done. So, and I know that it's been a short turnaround in terms of when everybody got elected and Senate actually started. So really be proud of yourselves for the work that you've done so far. And next item on the agenda are reports from ASG exec board members. So we can start off with Joey.
Thank you. And just to echo what Maya just said, really fantastic job by all the senators. Y'all have been really active and doing a fantastic job. So keep up the good work. I know the gauntlet and the dog days of the semester are approaching, or they're already here. So we'll make it through and keep chugging through. So first off, I'd like to start off by saying that the meeting is officially set with the representatives from the Student Athletic Advisory Council. It will be 2 Black student athletes that will be separate. We'll be meeting just to discuss racism in our athletics department. So if you are interested in attending, please feel free to let me know. And then tomorrow I'm meeting with Stephanie Lynn regarding the shower cards. Again, as a reminder, these shower cards will inform the student body how to do self-testicular examinations and self-breast examinations as a preemptive measure to check whether students have cancer of the sorts. And then also tomorrow I am meeting with the Changemaker Hub Corps to provide updates with regards to what ASG is doing. And then Wednesday, me and a couple senators met with the Muslim Student Association just to discuss the Uyghur Information Campaign. Basically, it was just beginning and initiation of the conversation. We don't really necessarily have any solid plans, but Ramin did mention that he's going to discuss with the executive board of MSA. So we will get back from that. And then Monday, I'm going to be meeting with all of the presidents of San Diego student governments. So if anything interesting comes from that, I will certainly keep you updated at the next end. So thank you.
And Justin is again at University Senate or Faculty Senate, so I'll be giving us updates today. They're pretty straightforward. The spring planning discussions in Faculty Senate, they're just discussing possible spring 2021 like academic calendar scenarios. So that's currently being discussed, as well as the faculty salary policy discussions. So that's really all he gave me, and these topics are being discussed currently at the Faculty Senate. That's it for Justin.
Hi all. So this week has been homecoming week. On Monday we had Turo Food, Tuesday was The Price is Right, and yesterday was Jeopardy. All of our games so far has been a success. Thank you to all of you who have been participating. Please sure to keep marketing and letting all and everyone know. Today was supposed to be our open mic night, but we unfortunately did not get many signups, so we had to cancel it due to that. Tomorrow is but today there are Torero talks. I will try and find the link and send it in the chat, but those do count for compass points, whichever points you need for graduation. Tomorrow is casino night, and if you register, once again, you'll be able to get a 2-night stay at a Dana hotel. Saturday is our Big Blue Bash, and those who attend will also have opportunity to win giveaways. And then this week, if you still wanted to have a chance to sign up for a spirit box, you're more than welcome to. And then next Tuesday, we are having a wellness workshop, which is a day dedicated to wellness. During Turo hours, we are having a yoga class, and then later on in the first half of 2 hours, it's a yoga class, and the second half it's a nutrition and wellness class. So if you wanted to take both, you could take both, and then there's a link there so that you can sign up and share it with your friends. And then we will be having a grab and go component, which will be like little pumpkins that you can decorate or succulents that you can take care of. This is only for students who are on campus, and so I just wanted to let y'all know we are not marketing this because, as you all know, typically our giveaways do make crowds, and that's what we're discouraging. So this will be distributed effectively through dining and following protocols, and we've been reaching out and working with ops. And then also, like how Catalina said, the SHRIP is also offering suicide QPR training during 2 hours on Tuesday. So I just wanted to mention that.
So I don't have too many updates. The big thing today is me presenting the extenuating circumstance clauses. But last week I mentioned that we were creating an appeals process for potential student organizations to appeal a rejection by the external affiliation committee if they were to be by them. And so we being the judicial branch, Alana and I, along with the advisors, we finalized last week the appeals process. So the appellate board will be chaired by me, the Chief Justice, and 2 other justices, along with 2 members of the Student Org Committee. And then the decision we make will be treated almost like Finance Committee's decisions, in that it's a recommendation to the Senate, and ultimately you guys kind of make the decision to approve or deny our consideration of the appeal. And then the AVP of Student Affairs, so Dr. Avery, she has the right to uphold or reverse Senate's decision, which this is pretty typical of all, like, I guess this is all things like the student organizations and the typical USC procedure. So that's the general breakdown of how it goes. And it can be found in the Student Org Handbook. If you're looking for it, I can try to find it if you want to look for the specifics, but it's just a lot of jargon to basically say what I said in a little paragraph. And yeah, I think that's all.
Hi everyone, I only have one update, and the update is that the updated budget that I presented last week is posted in our website, the ASG website. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know.
Alrighty, hi everyone, happy Thursday. So a couple updates. First, in regards to the weekly updates video, we're just changing that up just a wee bit. Rather than collecting clips of updates every week, we're just going to be recording the executive and committee chair report updates. And then if someone wants to expand on an update that they're talking about, they can record a clip of themselves. So for example, like the academics chair, if they're talking about the academics grant, they can have someone within the committee or themselves kind of go more into detail, and then we'll edit that in right after. And so if you have any clips pertaining to October 26th, you can email that to me at jzoto@sandiego.edu. And then in regards to the Instagram spotlights, we still need a few of you to fill out the form. I'm sending the form in the chat. It should take about like 30 seconds. So if you have time, please fill that out like right now, today, by the end of today would be great. And then our marketing committee came up with a system when it comes to submitting flyers. So basically, if you have any marketing content or have a flyer, you can send it out to the representative of the marketing committee that's on the screen right here. And then we just ask that you send that out 2 weeks in advance so that we can distribute it to the proper outlets. And then also on top of this, if you want us to make a flyer for you, you can also reach out to the representative and we can kind of figure out how to make a flyer for you and see what's best. We just ask you to do that 2 weeks in advance. So the more time you give us, the more creative we can be. And then feel free to screenshot this slide so you know who to be in contact with when it comes to marketing. And then lastly, the website updates. So we're doing a few updates. So I'm going to send yet another form to the chat. And this is just 2 questions, just your name and majors and minors, so we can add that to the website. I apologize for all of the forms, but I appreciate everyone's cooperation. And then I will see or talk again, I guess, for the new business for our Senate picture.
Hello again, everyone. No big updates for me, but just would like to remind everyone this week to take time for self-care, given that we have midterms, and especially next week, or I guess next month, when we have finals. So that's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you. Moving on to first item under new business will be a Senate group photo. So Justice, take it away.
Forgot I was muted. Is it possible if we could just take out the PowerPoint real quick so we have everyone? Perfect. So I'm just gonna ask, if you are a member of the public, please keep your camera off. And if possible, if you are a member of the Senate, to turn on your camera. I'll give everyone just a little bit to do that.
Sorry to interrupt, my hand's kind of raised. What if you're not a member of the Senate, but not the public, i.e. exec?
Yeah, exec could be on this too. Okay, so I see. All right, I think just another reminder, if you are a senator, even advisor or exec, you can turn on your camera. Anyone related to ASG? Okay, so we're gonna take 2 pictures and I'll go down a count of 3. And so I hope you'll hear the camera shutter so you'll know when it's taking, but let me get it ready. Okay, everyone ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. I don't know if you heard it. I didn't hear it, but it went through. Okay. We'll take one more. So, okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, it went through. And that's that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Justice. Next item on the agenda under new business is approval of new student organizations. Jay?
Hello, and thank you, Speaker of the Senate. Today, I'd like to present to you all 3 different clubs that have received approval from the Student Org Committee majority. And are you controlling the slides, Maya? Okay. The first club seeking approval from Senate is the Toreros Fighting Homelessness Club. The mission is to address the underserved community in San Diego through community service, fundraising, and raising awareness. The second club seeking approval, the second club seeking approval is the USD Artist Society. Their missions and goal are to enrich artistic studies all across campus and to encourage students who are now studying art to be more confident in their work, to build a bridge between the art department and greater USD community, and to encourage the use of art and other majors concentrations to create a well-rounded artistic students. And the final club is a club that is re-registering this year called the Honors Club. Their mission is to foster a sense of community for honors students and develop relations within different classes from first years to seniors and build a presence for the honors program on campus. Our goals are to create events geared towards enabling of all the classes in the honors program and mentorship program to pair older honor students with first year and new students, and to open discussion events to address systemic racism. Now at this time, I'd like to open to the Senate any questions they have towards the 3 clubs, to the student org chair and presidents and the student org.
Does anyone have any questions about any of the orgs? And if you don't have any questions, you can also make a motion to approve the orgs. And if you would like to make a motion, you can either do it like one at a time, or you could say, I move to approve all 3 student orgs. Angelo?
I move to approve all 3 student orgs.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor having been seconded to approve all 3 student orgs. Is there any further discussion? If not, please cast your votes. Motion passes. All of the organizations have been approved. Thank you, Jay. Moving on to the next item under new business is the extenuating circumstance clauses review from our Chief Justice. So, Anaya.
All right, so we have 4 today. Judy, can you click to the next slide, please? Thank you. So we have 4 today. It's going to be Senate Parking Reappeals, ASGBC, and the endowment. I'm going to just talk generally about what they are. They kind of are all the same thing, almost, but there are just a few nuances. So I'll talk about it generally, and then I'll go into the specifics. So really, the circumstance clauses are just, in the case of a pandemic, you have 2 scenarios. The first in which the Senate or the body cannot meet. So like in the case of the Senate, like over the summer, how you all weren't elected yet, so we had no Senate. And the second is a case where the body can meet. Maybe you need to make slight changes to your bylaws because the bylaws aren't the most conducive to being remote or just being in a pandemic. It's not the most forgiving sometimes. So that's basically what they generally discuss. So for the Senate, for this first one, in the case that the Senate cannot meet, it basically says that exec would act as Senate. So again, just in the case that Senate is not elected, so like the summer, all executive decisions would have to pass with a 2/3 majority vote within exec and then be approved by an advisor, just so exec doesn't go like a little rogue in their decision making. And then after we make all of our decisions, we have to present them to you at the first Senate meeting of the after the decision was made. So this is the same, I believe this is like almost the same exact wording as it was with the Finance Committee bylaws. If y'all remember at the first meeting, we told you how we changed the budget from a expected in-person budget to a remote budget. And so that's the same thing here, but with something more generally that Senate would usually vote on. And in the second case, we have where if Senate can meet, but let's say you need to change your bylaws to say reduce quorum because quorum size is 2/3. But let's say, like, again, it's a pandemic. Some people may miss because, I don't know, you get sick or something just comes up. And so that the Senate isn't debilitated by missing senators, reducing quorum to 50% would kind of lessen that likelihood. That's just an example of how you would use this part of the clause, but just slight changes to make the Senate run better in the extenuating circumstance. Can we go to the next one, please? For parking appeals, this one is just saying that, like the other one, in the case that the parking appeals body can meet, we can make slight changes because, like, for some of the instances, some of the rules in the parking appeals bylaws basically says we can only reduce a fine by 50%, but people are struggling financially. So let's say we disagree with that and we want to say, don't put any limits on how much we can reduce it and say that we can reduce any fine by any amount of money and 2-0 if we so choose. So that's one way of using it. And also in the case that judicial branch isn't yet selected and people need to make appeals because those kind of never stop. In normal circumstances, parking services would just refer to our old decisions because this parking court has gone on forever and have made 50 million decisions at this point. And in the case of really urgent matters, exec can hear it. We're all active members of exec. And then can we go to the next one for ASGBC? ASGBC, really similar to the other one, except in this case, it's not that in the case that ASGBC cannot convene because ASGBC is primarily comprised of like non-ASG members. It's mostly just representatives of student orgs. So really it's in case that the Senate cannot meet, unless the Senate cannot send 2 representatives to take part in ASGBC. In that case, the president can choose 2 executive board members to serve on ASGBC so that you at least have some ASG representation on there. And again, with ASGBC can make changes if they can't meet, just to better serve student organizations. And then the last one is endowment. And this one is kind of new. I can't really tell you specific instances in which it could be used because we've never actually used this before, but it's coming up next semester. So we thought we'd make it. And in this case, this group can, again, amend their bylaws like all the other cases. And if they cannot meet, then the executive team would serve as the endowed scholarship committee, which, I mean, about half of the executive team is already on it, but this is basically just in the case of Senate, and we don't have Senate chairs. So most of this is about if Senate isn't kind of around. So yeah, that's all 4. And I believe I had a question, or I saw a question on the doc about in all these changes, if they were made to the bylaws, specifically relating to section 1 here, it says they're kind of temporary. It would only last for the semester. And I believe it was Angelo who asked why not just make it for the duration of the circumstance. And I believe it was Alana Bledman who actually responded to him as well as I probably could have in that circumstances. That's kind of ambiguous in terms of how long a circumstance could last. A circumstance could last for like a few days, or it could last for years. You don't really know. That's kind of ambiguous in that way. And so to give us some kind of structure, we only said a semester. And of course, you can make the same motion the next semester and the next semester and the next semester. And also, I find personally, I think it would be a bit difficult to operationally define the circumstance just because it can get really nuanced and kind of tedious. And if you leave something out, then you're kind of stuck. So that's why we said only the duration of the semester. But yeah, I don't think I saw any other questions, but if you all have any on any of these 4, or if I went through something too fast, just raise your hand and I'll try to answer. And also, if you would like to approve this, you can approve them all at once. It will just require a 2/3 vote of just saying, I move to approve all of these extenuating circumstances clauses, if you don't have any questions.
Angelo?
I move to approve all 3 extenuating circumstance clauses.
Second.
And are there 4 or 3 or?
There are 4. You can, I mean, if I may point of order, you can make an amendment to the motion, so it's easy.
Angelo?
Can I amend the motion, like I move to amend or approve all 4 extenuating circumstance clauses?
Yes, it just needs a second.
Second.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor having been seconded to approve all 4 extenuating circumstance clauses. Is there any further discussion?
Point of order, I think you need to vote to approve the amendment first, and then you would be able to vote on the original main motion.
Thank you. So, okay, so there's a motion on the floor to amend the motion to include all 4 clauses. Is there any further discussion on the amendment? And if not, you can cast your votes. Jay, can you please cast your vote? Jay, you there? Okay, I will count that as an abstain. Motion passes. Okay, so thank you, Sarah. So the motion has been amended. So now is there a vote on the actual motion, or does it have to be another? Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to approve all 4 clauses. Is there any further discussion? If not, please cast your votes. Ari, could you please cast your vote? Thank you. Motion passes. The extenuating circumstance clauses have been approved. Okay, moving on to final business. At this time, any senator may take from the table any motion previously laid on the table in the meeting the week before or present urgent business, and any member of the public may voice any concerns to the assembly on non-agenda items. Does anyone have anything they'd like to share? If not, that's totally fine. There, you can make a motion to adjourn today's meeting. I just wanted to give ample amount of time for anybody to think of any questions or anything they'd like to share. Lauren?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor, has been seconded to adjourn today's meeting. Is there any further discussion? If not, you can cast your votes. Motion passes. The Senate meeting has been adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Maya.
Thank you.